Hey everyone, on today's episode of Beer and Watches, we are reviewing the Revelot R9 Veloce, and this is a pretty gosh darn cool watch at a pretty amazing price, so you're not going to want to miss this episode. Now time's are ticking, so let's get stuck in. Now today is very exciting because today I'm reviewing a cracker of a watch. This is the R9 Veloce from Revelot, and this is the launch edition because they launched this on Indiegogo. Now it's been fully funded on Indiegogo, but there are a few left at the Indiegogo price, and not only that, Revelot have been kind enough to give me a very special link for you guys where they are offering five watches at a reduced price off the Indiegogo launch price. So if you love this watch when you see the review, there are only 5 available. I'll put that link in the description below this video so you can check it out. Now for full disclosure, this watch was sent to me for review. I do get to keep the watch, however I don't get paid for this review. Now also, as we're looking at the watch today, you may notice a few scratches and scuffs on the watch. That's because this is a review copy and I just get to keep it when I'm finished, so aren't I lucky. Now before we get into the review, if you've never seen my YouTube channel before, welcome. If you love beer, you love watches as much as I do, then this is the channel for you. And I'm bringing you watch reviews of microbrand watches every single week. These are watches that you might not see on other YouTube review channels and watches that you're certainly not going to find in your everyday high street store. So if you do want to subscribe and join the Beer and Watches family, click on the subscribe link over there to the bottom right of the screen or below this video if you're on a mobile device, and don't forget to click the bell notification so you don't miss a single video. All that being said, let's dive straight into this review. Let's swing the camera around and let's go. All right, so here it is, the Revelot R9 Veloce launch edition. Now I should tell you first of all that I'm super excited to show you this watch. Now I know if you've watched my channel before, you're like, well, he's always super excited about the watches he reviews. And the fact is I am, because I work super hard to bring in watches that I want to review, not watches that I don't like and then I'm going to give a bad review. So that is why for the most part, I give pretty good reviews on my channel. As I mentioned, this is the Revelot R9 Veloce. It is based on a supercar, so it's the supercar watch. Again, you can check these folks out over on Instagram at Revelot_official, or you can go to their website, Revelot.com. They do have a whole bunch of men's and ladies' watches on their website, and also some really cool leather wallets. So I'll put those links in the description below this video. Make sure you go pay them a visit. Now, this particular watch, right now is on Indiegogo. It has been fully funded and the Indiegogo reduced price is $259 US. That's reduced from retail. The folks over at Revelot have been kind enough to give me an extra discount code on only 5 of these watches. So I'll put that link in the description below this video. It is right now live on their Indiegogo as a secret link, a Beer and Watches link, and you're going to get an extra $20 off the Indiegogo price, which means you're going to be able to get this for $239, but only for 5. Once those 5 are gone, then you'll be able to get it at the regular Indiegogo price. All of the watches come with a 24-month warranty. Now the watch in here, when you go to the website, you'll see that it does come in different variations. You've got rose gold on silver, regular gold on silver, black on black, blue. The turbo red version and the midnight blue rose gold version are sold out right now. However, the other versions, including this one that I have in here, are available. First of all, the outer sleeve here, I actually think it's kind of cool. We've got the Revelot logo there with the sunburst. We've got the watch itself embossed in gold on the box, R8 Veloce Launch Edition. Slide this out of here and you can see the box inside. Now, I'm always talking about giving great packaging because after all, you've bought the watch, but you also want that unboxing experience. While this is not particularly expensive packaging, it is very, very cool what they've done. And I just like that extra attention to detail so that when you purchase a watch, you feel good about your purchase. The inner box here kind of has this, well, it's kind of a, what would you call that, a honeycomb finish to the cardboard, I guess. We've got the gold strip down here, which matches the gold Revelot logo with sunburst. This doesn't open up this way. It actually slides out kind of like a pencil case or a cigar box, I guess. And so this slides out, and inside there we have the watch itself. And although this looks like a styrofoam, it is actually kind of a latex foam with this kind of leatherette finish to it almost. On the right hand side we've got the Revelot warranty card. On the left side here we have the watch on this cushion. We'll get rid of the case for a second there. Really well done, Revelot, and a great unboxing experience. So now let's take a look at the watch. Now first of all, if you've never heard of Revelot, they were actually started in 2017, and they were started as a crowdfunding project on Kickstarter and Indiegogo with the R7 Avant-Garde, which is still available on their website. And again, I'll put the link to their website in the description below this video, because this certainly isn't the only watch they've produced. They have a whole range of men's and ladies watches on the website, so I do recommend going and checking them out. All of those kind of supercar references are in the dial of the watch, and we'll kind of touch on them as we go through. Now, first of all, the weight of this watch is about 125 grams, including the strap. It does have a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the underside. It's good for 100 meters of water resistance. It is a push-pull crown, not a screw down, but good for certainly splashing around, maybe a bit of swimming, stuff like that. This is the silver gold on silver, and it does have a silicone rubber strap on here, and we'll talk a bit more about that in a second. Looking at the dial of the watch, you can see that we've got a large date complication up here at the 12 o'clock position with the Revelot logo just below that. And actually, I'm just going to adjust those hands so you can kind of see that date window a little bit better. And then around the outside here we've got the tachymeter. Then we've got 3 dials. Now the bottom dial here, which is kind of like a turbo engine in a supercar, you can see ticking away. That is the sub-second dial. It doesn't actually have any markers on there, so you can't really use it as a second dial, but it's got that kind of turbo fan engine look to it, ticking away to represent the turbo fan in a supercar. I think it's really cool. Now, the distinctive look of this watch I have seen somewhere before, not exactly the same as this, but I have seen a similar design in a watch by Aviate watches in their Harrier 2 Matador Chrono. Now the Aviate Harrier 2 Matador Chrono comes in on their website at $330 US, so this one certainly is a much better deal, coming in about $100 under that. But apart from that similar styling, there are a lot of different stylings to this watch. As you can see, we've got here an hour and a minute hand. We've also got white on there and on the applied hour markers, which is going to be some lume, and we'll take a look at that lume right now. Not the strongest lume I've ever seen, but certainly acceptable. As you can see, we've got it on the hour and the minute hand. We've also got it on the hour markers around the outside. No lume pips at the 3 or 9 o'clock position, because that's where we have the chronograph dials. Certainly acceptable on this watch, and absolutely at this price point as well, does the job. Here at the 9 o'clock position, we've got the chronograph minutes dial, and here at the 3 o'clock position, we've got the 1/20th of a second chronograph seconds dial. Now this is a quartz watch, it's not an automatic, but we do get a skeletonized look into the dial there, kind of giving it that look of looking under the engine of a supercar. I like it a lot. Very, very neat. Now we're going to show you how that chronograph operates. Round here on the right side of the watch, we have 2 pushers. The top pusher here starts the chronograph. As you can see, the chronograph second hand starts to go around. We've got the 1/20th second wheel here spinning, and as this reaches a minute, the chronograph minutes hand will start to advance here on the left. We can stop that. You can see that gives us a clear readout of the 1/20th of a second, and then we reset that by pressing the bottom pusher there, and that resets everything back to normal. We pull out the crown one time to adjust the date on this, and we turn that clockwise to adjust the date. It is actually a 2-date wheel. The wheel on the right brings in the minutes there from 0 to 9, and then the wheel on the left brings in the 0, 1, 2, or 3. Pull all the way out to adjust the hands. You can also see that when we pull it all the way out, the turbo fan here at the 6 o'clock position stops turning. That's because this movement is hackable, which allows for more precise time setting. We push this back in and that fan turbo engine starts up again. Great looking watch, a lot going on the dial, but also, even though there's a lot going on, it is very, very easy to read even at a distance. So I applaud them on that. As far as the bezel goes here, it's a fixed bezel. It's got brushed stainless steel, and that moves it around into the brushed stainless steel case. Kind of got an AP, Audemars Piguet kind of feel to it with this case design. And then we've got some black undertones here, PVD coated undertones under that stainless steel bezel. The stainless steel bezel does have stainless steel brushing to the top, but a high polish around the outside. That moves down into this stainless steel brushed case, and some crown guards there on the right hand side around the crown. All in all, a very cool, distinctive looking case, a little thicker for a quartz movement, coming in at I believe about 14 millimeters, but we'll give that a measure in a second. Moving around to the strap here. Now this is an integrated silicone strap. You can see that the Revelot section here is part of this case body, so you are not going to be able to switch the strap on this. So basically you're going to have to go with the strap that it comes with. Now I personally think this strap matches this watch beautifully, and I wouldn't have any problems keeping this strap on the watch, but just so you know, full disclosure, that you aren't going to be able to change the strap because it is integrated into the watch. All in all, a very, very distinctive, unique style. The rubber on this is a silicone rubber. Now that's good and bad. The good part of the silicone rubber strap is it is super, super soft. Very, very comfortable to wear this watch. The minor side, not bad, but slight downside is that it does pick up dust on there, so you are just going to have to wipe it off every once in a while. But certainly I would put up with that any day over the fact that this is a very, very comfortable strap to wear on wrist. Actually one of the most comfortable straps on wrist that I've ever worn. We've got two keepers here. One is actually fixed in place and one is movable. Moving up to a brushed stainless steel tang buckle in this unique kind of shape with the Revelot logo embossed on the buckle. Plenty of options there for wrist sizes, and then we've also got the Revelot Sunburst logo again embossed in the rubber. All in all, a very, very nice strap indeed, and as I say, very comfortable to wear on wrist. Now moving around to the case back, we've got a screw down stainless steel case back. As you can see here, it says 316L stainless steel, water resistance of 100 meters. It says right here sapphire crystal, right here Japan movement, and then finally right here it says launch edition, and this only comes on the launch edition Indiegogo version of this watch. Once this is sold out, you won't have that on there. Looking at the screw down case back, it is stainless steel. It's got kind of a bead blasted back into it, and with this high polished webbing on there, which kind of represents the car tire, car wheel rim of a supercar. In the middle, we have a carbon fiber insert and what looks like the lug nuts on the car wheel as well, all to go with that representation of the supercar. Now let's get the case back off here and let's take a look at the quartz movement that is powering this watch. Now inside here is a quartz movement, and there it is, really well fitted to the case, and I can see on here that this says it's a Miyota 6S50. Now that tells me that this movement is good to about plus or minus 20 seconds a day. Again, it's a 1/20th of a second chronograph. The battery life on this is going to last for about 4 years on this watch. It's an SR927W battery, which is very easily replaced. But as you can see, well finished, really well presented in the back of the case there, and not an issue at all with that movement. Miyota is always a good, strong workhorse movement, so nice to see in this watch. Let's get the case back on here and let's finish up this review. The diameter on the bezel comes in at 40 millimeters. Now, even though the case around the bezel is larger than 40 millimeters, when it's on wrist, it actually doesn't wear as large, which means those with a smaller wrist are actually going to be able to wear this quite nicely. Also, also, the band doesn't have lugs that extend from the case, because these lugs actually move all the way down to almost a 90-degree position, which means when it's on a smaller wrist, it is going to sit quite comfortably. If we go with the whole diameter of the watch, including the case, you're looking at 45 millimeters, and including the crown, we're looking at about 47.5. As far as the lug to lug on this goes, well, that's kind of difficult to say, because when the lugs are extended, it comes in at a whopping 61 millimeters. However, when the lugs are down, as they would be on wrist, it only comes in at 54 millimeters. So what's nice about that is the lugs are going to extend and get closer together depending on the size of your wrist, which is something quite unusual, something you don't really see on a lot of watches. As far as the case thickness on this goes, it is actually, I said 14 earlier, but it actually comes in closer to 15 millimeters. It is a little bit thicker, especially considering it's a quartz, but you've got that multi layered case and dial there, which gives it a really unique look and a really unique kind of design. So I don't mind that case thickness personally. As far as the bandwidth on this, well, we can't really give you a lug width measurement because technically, again, this is an integrated strap. However, the bandwidth on this is going to be a 22 millimeter band, and that doesn't taper at the bottom. It comes all the way down. I actually like it a lot. It's one of those watches that you're either going to love or you're going to hate personally. But if you like chronograph watches, you like kind of a larger, chunkier watch look, I certainly think this is a great watch. And I think when you're considering the packaging and the watch and everything, and you're able to get this for about $239 US, I think it's absolutely spectacular what they've managed to achieve at this price point. So I certainly don't mind giving this a great review, and indeed I give this a big thumbs up from me. I personally like this watch very, very much. So there you have it, my friends, my review of the Revelot R9 Veloce. I think it's an absolutely stunning watch, and for the price, you really can't go wrong. They've worked super hard at Revelot to bring this chronograph in at a price point that really rivals other watches of this build quality, in my opinion. So I think it's a big thumbs up from me. If you do want to check them out, again, you can go to Revelot_official, that's right here on Instagram, and check them out. And if you want to check out their website, you can go to Revelot.com, and again, I'll put that link in the description below this video as well. And don't forget, there are 5 offered at that special beer and watches price. That link to the Indiegogo page and that special discount is in the description below this video, and it's only for 5 watches. So if you do love this, make sure you jump on it. Don't forget to click on that video right there. That's a good one. And click on the beer and watches logo right there to subscribe.